Happened.
I don't think the young lady hit Scotty on the live.
Yeah, and I don't think Scotty's on. Scotty, you're not over here on StreamYard, but it's cool.
Can you get on screen, y'all, Scotty, and at the same time? Or you need two devices?
It's cool. I'll be able to at least hear his voice on StreamYard, but we'll make it do what it does.
Do what it does.
Hey, everybody. This is Marcia with Peculiar One Counseling and Authentically Peculiar. I am so excited because I wanted to grab my brother and my nephew. And so that we can talk. I'm going to try to turn my volume down so we don't get kickback. Okay, that's what's up. Okay. Scott, you may have to do that too. All right.
All right.
So we're coming today because we often hear he's a therapist, and I know Scott get this, and Scotty, you and Unique may have this as an issue or conversation with your folks, but I'm hearing a lot about people saying it's so hard dating in 2023 because you're battling. And Unique, just real quick, Scotty sent you, it should be Smart Trouble, sent you a link on Instagram if you want to hit over there as well, if you can. I know you're on your phone.
I'll try. I want to.
It's cool. We're gonna figure it out. But
Yeah, let's just keep.
I
I'm
want
just
to
listening.
really get into the conversation about dating in 2023. So many of my clients, male and female, are talking about the difficulties in dating. And I wanted to bring the young crew and then some of the old heads. You know, I had 3 conversations with women in their 50s and 60s talking about what it's like to date. Scotty put something out there the other day, and Scotty, I'm gonna pick on your nephew for a minute, but you put a video out there about the camel toe.
Oh Lord.
And Scotty asked, so what is it that y'all want from us? You putting it out there, you showing it to us. What's the deal? So Scotty, can you tell me what made you do that video?
We can't hardly hear you.
I can't hear you, Scotty. Yes, Scotty, we're not getting you at all on Instagram or on StreamYard. Can you hear him, Scott?
Uh,
I don't hear him either. I don't see him either.
Scotty, are you able to get StreamYard at all?
I don't know why you can't. Why your volume is down.
I'm not sure. Let me see if I turn mine up. I'm trying not to get any feedback. There, Scotty.
Yeah, I hear. I can hear because our volumes are turned down. That's why. That's why we can't
Okay.
hear.
Yeah, I turned that one down now. Are you still getting an echo, Scotty?
Nah, I muted it.
Yeah. Do you think it's mine? Let me turn. Let me.
Much
Yeah,
better.
I can hear you. Okay, that's what's up. We're just gonna make it do what it does. It's on Facebook, it's on YouTube, and so we're just gonna try to capture everything at one time. But I really wanted us unique. If you need to jump on the Instagram, that's cool.
Okay.
Whichever way works for you. I just want to make sure that we're getting everybody's input on this
Okay.
topic.
No problem.
Okay. Okay.
While he's doing that, so ask that same question because I don't know a damn thing about dating. I know
So
about dating. I'm done. I'm
Yeah,
done out here in
you
these streets.
you down for the count, bruh. But so what's going on is, back in the day, we could meet people organically, right? We could roll up, meet people at a grocery store, walking across a parking lot, whatever that is. We could do that naturally. So dating has really boiled down to apps, false profiles, the whole 9 yards, and so a lot of people are having difficulty trying, especially this younger generation, trying to actually date. Um, because they meeting duds, and I'm saying meeting duds, both male and female, right? Because and there is no age limit on it. As I said in the beginning, I talked to 3 different women this weekend in their 50s and 60s. That's just like, how do we start dating? How do we start this transition? So I was laughing at Scotty's video that he put up the other day, because he was challenging the young ladies who are walking around, with the camel toe print and all that kind of stuff. What do y'all want? So Unique, I mean, you know what the camel toe print is. Come on, weigh in. What's the
You
deal?
know what? Honestly, I think I have mine on today on this good Sunday. But it don't have nothing to do with a man. That's just I just want to be comfortable sometimes. You know what I mean? I mean, they seem to notice it more than I do. So, but I just like to be comfortable.
Okay. And so, if I'm hearing you correctly, it's not an intention to pull your pants up high enough where your print is showing.
No, they're high waist pants. I have on high waist shorts right now. That's all. They the only people who notice it.
So,
Well,
go ahead, Scotty.
well, I think, and we all do this. We know which body parts on us accentuate us. If guys got arms, they got their arms out. If they got legs, they got on short. If girls you know, they got that ass, then they got the thing. If they well endowed up top, they're gonna wear tight shirts, low cut. So we accentuate our positives, male and female. So, and Unique, how is that comfortable? If you're pulling it up and it's all like that, how is that comfortable? Please talk to me.
Listen, the pants come like that. All right, the
With the
pants
camel
come like
toe,
that.
with the print.
The pants come like that. I just put them on.
Okay.
That's all I'm
Okay.
saying.
Okay.
I can just tell you that as a woman that's heavenly endowed in breast and booty, for me, I just try to wear stuff that don't really show it, because it's like, I got a tabletop for
You
a
can
backside. So
you
I
can
be trying not to. Why are you
you
laughing,
can
Scott, man?
But you're
Come
gonna
on.
put your drink on it. Put your
that's right.
drink on it. Hey baby,
When
can
I
I
was still
can
at
I sit this
IRS,
right here
there was
while we
the running
dancing?
joke. There was the running joke when I was still at IRS. They was like, you can put a whole plate on it.
I know
But
that's right.
I think that what Scotty was saying, and Scotty, help me out here. You were asking about that camel toe and the messaging that it may send, and
Okay.
wanting to know, what's the deal with it. So, Scotty, now that you're with us on StreamYard, can you help us out?
Oh well, when I made that, I was actually, like I said, just being a smart ass. A lot of times, you already know the answer to the question is that they're searching for attention, and so a lot of them deny it as if it's not what their intentions are. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, when you do get the attention that you're looking for, then what? Like, do you want
Mm-hmm.
me to say, "Oh, that motherfucker look fat," "Oh, it look nice"? Okay, now what? Do you expect me to take that same energy and expect me to treat you as if you're someone that I would date seriously as well?
Mm-hmm.
So what is it that you're looking for? Because all day every day you're posting relationship memes, but at the same time you're putting yourself out there as if you're trying to catch us on attract us on a sexual level, which is, I mean, we live in a hypersexual society. You know what I'm saying? The
Right.
easiest thing about dating is it ain't hard to have sex. It's not hard to find somebody that's willing to have sex. That's the easiest part about dating now. And so it was just really me being an asshole and really like calling it out for what it was, because
Gotcha.
it's acting as if they're unaware of what they're doing. And it's like, you know exactly what
It's
you're
just
doing. Come
asshole.
on, man. You
Well,
know.
wait a minute now, because y'all can say that about the camel toe, but what happens if we say something about the sweatpants?
Well,
If we
it's
walked around, if we walked
We
around in
should.
sweatpants as much as y'all try to walk around in a camel toe, then y'all would say something. It's like it's the same
oh,
thing.
we
It's like every
we
time
do say something.
We do.
We do
if a girl,
definitely.
if a dude, every time you put a camera on a girl, right? If a woman was sitting beside me, y'all two female friends. If I was to go like this and a girlfriend was sitting right here, she would start shaking her ass in the camera. I can't walk up as a man and just start shaking my penis all in the camera. That's just
True.
it's not the equivalent. It's, that's just which, but it's a double standard because it's also thirsty. If I was sitting here in my drawers every day trying to show my bulge every day, y'all be like, dang, he looks thirsty as hell. But y'all don't have that same level of awareness when it comes to yourself.
Well, and
That's a valid point. Go
I
ahead,
think
Scott.
one of the things that we really have to look at is, first of all, when we define topics, what is dating? Because you got to understand, is it the hookup culture? You know, and
Mm-hmm.
then my second question to this is that being that we're in the Me Too movement,
Mm-hmm.
I think men, a lot of a lot of men out there are kind of cautious because if I say the wrong thing, if I say, "Oh, he's harassing me," there's sexual harassment.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's that standard. Well, women, I can dress the way I want, even if it's provocative, and no one should say that. If your ass out, titties out, all of that, then but you advertise it, but then you want to be respected as well. So how do they go hand in hand?
And that's a valid question. I want to put my definition on dating and socialization or social ships. So for me, the definition of dating, there is a end goal to develop into a relationship. Socialization is just meeting people and seeing wherever the vibe may click, and then moving into dating. What are y'all thoughts about that?
I agree with you. I agree with you. I think there are levels to dating, just like you said, socialization. But there are levels. You have casual dating, you have dating with intention, you have rotational dating. It's different levels of dating. So it's just where you fall on that spectrum of dating. But ultimately, the common denominator is in dating, you're trying to get to know this person. Now, again, it just depends on what your intentions are.
Mm-hmm.
So,
What's your thoughts, Scotty?
Dating's interesting. I think that dating is there's a lack of dating. We have more of a talking culture. We talk to each other, or or whenever we cross those sexual lines, we feel as if that's our possession. I don't feel like we don't know how to date because we don't know how to communicate where we are and communicate what we feel. And so a lot of
Mm-hmm.
times you just be going with the flow, and a lot of times you haven't defined where you are within your situation or you're dating, and you're just enjoying someone's company, and it has no title, it has no strings, it has no definition because you haven't communicated that because you don't want to have an uncomfortable conversation about where you are. And so I think that the biggest thing that hinders dating right now is a lack of communication to be able to say, hey, I'm not where you are or what you want to do right now or where you want to be. And so you struggle with that. I think the biggest thing is just everyone wants someone of their own. Everyone wants a level of attention, someone as a possession. And so I think that hinders a lot of the dating because it doesn't get the time to grow. Like within less than a month, you're in a relationship damn near these days. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And you barely even know a person. But if you spend enough time with them, you feel like, oh, that's the person for me. But you haven't even had any uncomfortable conversations. You haven't been willing to challenge a person's mindset out of the comfort zone. And so I think that hinders dating in a long term. But that's why you have the hookup culture. It's like, yeah, you look good, I look good. All right, we like each other. Now what? Let's go have some drinks and see what happens. That's what
Exactly. I think that one of the biggest issue is people are afraid to ask the uncomfortable questions. If you can't tell somebody what you're looking for, if you're
exactly.
just looking up if you're looking for a hookup, you only do the hookup. But if you're looking for something more, why are people so afraid to say this is what I'm actually looking for?
Well, Marcia, to answer that question, it's this. It's the cell phone. It is the invention of because texting, DMing, whatever, that's the number one medium of communication, which was
hmm
why communication sucks
Mm-hmm.
now, right?
Yeah.
Because you can't get no affect, you can't get no feeling, you can't get any emotion in a text or emoji, right? But that
Mm-hmm.
is the number one conduit of conversation for that generation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's WID, what all of that, because now that's why, because our communication in general sucks. You go out at any restaurant, a table
Mm-hmm.
of six, all six people are on their phone. There's nobody talking, there's nobody communicating. So I believe the art of communication is lost.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the way, that's one of the main things, because what I tell my couples and what I tell anybody who enters a relationship, there are three important things: communication, expectation, and boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
You got to
Absolutely.
be able to tell what you want as a grown man or a grown woman.
Mm-hmm.
Your expectations. Hey, I think this. I'm looking for a relationship. Nah, I'm just out chilling, right? And then set boundaries when those expectations are not met. But see, I think y'all brought up a great point. Many of the people who are out there, they don't even know what they want. Because
They
if you
don't
don't
know
know what you want,
themselves.
what you're going out exactly. So if you don't know who you are, you can't define a relationship with anyone else till you define that relationship with yourself.
And God knows, listen, stop trying to mimic social media posted relationships. They are not
Mm,
real.
mm,
They giving you a mask, they doing stuff for likes and stuff like that, and you struggling to try to have a relationship. I mean, I want the younger people to chime in, and I know that y'all, old enough to know, but I want you all to chime in. What is it like in your age group with, dating, finding the right one, and even expressing what you need?
Well, I think that's just it. I know someone mentioned, like, having those uncomfortable conversations, and I feel like if you address that from the beginning, then you don't have to spend endless times. I feel like a lot of us find ourselves in situationships because from the beginning we're not honest with what we want. I'm very transparent about what I'm looking for when I date. I like to have that within the first couple conversations. I need to know, um, the thing about it is, like, just because I say I am dating with intention and I may be interested in a relationship does not even necessarily mean it's with you. I'm saying this so you understand where I'm coming from. So
Mm-hmm.
that way, okay, if we align, great. If we don't, cool. But I think the issue is that what I've been experiencing is that people have not been honest.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's almost starting to feel predatory. Like, I'm almost starting to feel violated that I stay with my expectations, or I let you know what it is, and then it's like I feel like I get strung along,
Mm.
and then you
That's
have
what
some
happened.
people say, oh, well, you can't put a time period on a relationship, how long it takes to get in a relationship or marriage. And I'm like, well, I've seen so many people, end up in situationships. I've seen so many people stay in relationships too long when they should have been married or they should have walked away a long time ago. So I think it's very important. And I guess that's where setting your boundaries come into play. I think it's very important to decide how much time you're going to spend entertaining, because time is so expensive and my time is so valuable. So
Mm-hmm.
I let you know what it is up front. Hey, like, I would like to be married. This is what I have going on. What are you looking for? The minute someone says, oh, I'm just going with the flow, I'm out. I'm out.
exactly. And you
Well,
said the
see,
right
I
thing.
think
That's what going to reason. That's why I was going. I'll let you chime in, but those Scotty in a minute. But that's why I was raising my hand. That's where you have to enforce your boundaries. Like, no, if we ain't gonna be doing this and doing that, you ain't gonna be, because there's something that is real important. People need to earn admittance into your inner circle, and you cannot allow everybody who you meet or to talk to. What is this person done to be in your bedroom? What has this person done to be at your dinner table? What has this person
Mm-hmm.
done to be able to meet your children, if you have children or not? Just because he or she is fine?
Right.
What is your standards to allow somebody into your inner circle?
Mm-hmm. And I agree, Scotty. You were going to chime in. I want to make sure you have the space too.
yeah. So I was gonna say, it's interesting because women ask for honesty but also it's like women want to be sold a dream at the same time, right? And so women
Mm,
are it's so easily to listen to what a woman tells you she wants in a long term within one setting, and then and then transform into that being for her within 2 or 3 weeks. Now it's a love bombing experience that happens, right? And the thing is that happens with the honesty is like men aren't honest because they know if they're honest, then they're not gonna get what they want. So if I know what you just told me, and I heard you what you just told me, then why would I be honest and it goes against what you want? If my end goal, and so I think that a lot of times women, crave honesty and transparency, but they set themselves up to be manipulated very early, um, because they do express these things, and they're so in love with being in love. And
mm,
I think they want the fairy tale so bad. And it's like, okay, it's not gonna happen just today. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna
yeah.
just happen today. And I think that they struggle with someone being honest with them, because if a man is honest with them and tells them this, then like you said, oh, I'm gonna cut you off. So why would I as a man tell you the truth, knowing that if I do tell you the truth, then you're not gonna talk to me?
But
Well,
that's
because
just what it is though. It's like, okay, so if I say, hey, I'm looking for a relationship, and you say, hey, I'm not into that, you have to respect that. If I don't want to speak to you or entertain you anymore, you have to respect that, because you sitting here lying to me and saying, oh well, I want one too, let's see where it goes. That's messed up. That's messed
yeah,
up, because again, it's like for me, my time is valuable. For me to even like make time to see you, I have to take time away from my children. I have to get dressed. I have to put on something nice. I have to use my good perfume. I have to get in my nice vehicle and put my premium gas in my car. I have to drive into the city. This is time. This is time consuming. You know what I mean? So that's why it's very important to vet people. It's very important to have those first conversations, because heck, you're paying for the day, so it might save you some money. Why
and I
keep
don't think
wasting your
it's
time?
just, and I
But
don't
again,
think it's just
if a
women.
man's trying to look,
God, Scotty.
so if a man's mission is to have sex with you. Let's be realistic. When he met you,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
his goal, he didn't say, "Oh, she would be a nice friend," or "I might marry her one day." His first thought process is, "Oh, I'll probably tear that shit up." Right? Let's be transparent.
Mm, okay.
Let's be very transparent about it. Right? And if that's his goal, and the only thing I gotta do is take you on a couple dates, to act like to even lead you on to feel as if we could be a potential relationship. And
Mm-hmm.
then you usually meet a representative of a person. I call it the representative stage. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever noticed that men act completely different after you have sex? Like, it's because that goal was there to have sex. That was their goal. It wasn't a relationship. It was nothing. It was another notch on their belt as a man. That's what I wanted. Okay, cool. Now that we got that, then what?
Would
But
it
then,
be fair to say that that puts both men and women in a bad position for those that are actually looking for a solid relationship? If
Yeah, but
that's
how
the way
long is
it's
you
going,
have to give
yeah.
that time to build? That the thing is, it's such a rush. It's such a rush.
mhm,
It's like you could. I'm talking about within 2 weeks. So what are we? What are we doing? Where are we going?
Okay,
mhm,
Like
so then how long
you
would you say it takes? So that's the thing. It's like people don't have time to play games. It's like you said, like you have some men who will sit there and lie to sell a woman a dream. You don't even have to do that, because trust me, there are women who would like to just have sex and that's it. So that's what I mean. It's predatory. Like, why are you lying? Why are you lying? You can find someone who's willing to sleep with you, and that's it.
I mean, most of the
They
time, if
exist.
you're not really meeting too many grown women, just like, yeah, I just want to fuck and that's it. That's just not that's not realistic. And
And
so like y'all, you just said, oh, there's a lot of women that would just go for it. There's many that's not. Like even if you do, they want to be treated some type of. They want to feel as if there's some type of chemistry or connection. You're not just gonna walk in and y'all both get naked and to have sex and then y'all going about your way. That's very, very not. I don't see that happening, especially in the 30 plus age group. So that's not
well,
realistic. And so therefore, you have to be accessible. And again, it's not just what a person says; it's the actions that have to match everything in the long term. And if they're willing to invest that time with you, then okay, cool. But you can't say, "Oh, I don't have time," and then want something to happen overnight as well, because
mhm.
then now you're on borrowed time. I'm not. Who said I was in a rush? You know what I'm saying? Who said that I was rushing to get to where you're going? But if we're rushing, and now I just know, okay, let me just take on. And again, that can still be the get to know you type phase. Like I said, it moves so fast. It's one nice date, and it's You know what I'm saying? 2 or 3 dates and you feel like it's a relationship. Is that a
And
relationship? But
how much time are you going to invest to get to know a person to decide if you want a
it's
relationship?
no time frame. It's
Exactly.
chemistry.
See, that's the
It
issue that women have
there's
because there is.
right.
I'm not going to kick it with you for a year, and
Of course
and
not.
try to wait on you to decide because the issue that men don't understand is like quiet is kept like it to an extent it is up to the man. Like I can't date myself. You know what I mean? I can't ask myself to be in a relationship. I have to wait on a man. A man has to pursue me. So it's like, why am I going to sit around for a year and like be my best self and show up for you? And it takes you a year to figure out that I'm the relationship type of woman or I'm somebody you want to see yourself. But nobody has time for that. When you know, you know. That's
Well,
just like men who wrap women up and do this whole shacking up thing for 5, 10 years and never marry the woman. I think that is ridiculous. That's time wasted. I'm not
That
saying
is.
we meet today and tomorrow we're in a relationship, but I think a good 3 months of dating, maybe 6 months, you should know what it is by then. You should have had time to decide if I'm the one. You should have cut everybody else off. We should be having a conversation about moving forward because again, that's my time. That's my time.
But have that conversation been had though, or is it just expected? It's an expectation, or
Well, a
you just
lot of times when people go in and share, listen, this is where I am. I know this not gonna happen immediately overnight, but this is where my end goal is. I want to be in a relationship, and you hear, cool. Let's see where this goes. Let's see how this moves. For me, if all you want is sex, let me know. Because if that's what you want, okay. And of course, I'm older than you, so I'm at that point where it's you're like, yo, if that's what you want, all right, this is what we're gonna do. And
and then you're
my
gonna be like, oh, I'm not on that.
I know for me,
And
if
then-
it's something as a grown woman, if that's something, if that's where I am, the first thing I say is, all right, you establishing these rules that we just doing sex. The moment you catch feelings, I'm gonna be gone because you established this rule. That's Marcia. I can't speak for nobody else, and that's been my way since I was in my 20s. If you coming in the door and your boundaries, your expectation is we just kicking it, we just gonna have sex, okay, boom. Now the moment you start catching feelings, then Marcia gonna be out because you violated what we agreed to. But when a woman does that, then you have to hear, oh man, you tough as a man, you hard as a man. And well, no, because it works both ways. Most men's ego can't handle when a woman bring the same energy. All right, let me just get that, and then that's it. That's the true reality. Most men, they're not gonna be. I mean, roll up and you roll up like, all right, I'm just coming over, to break you off, and then I'm gonna be gone.
yeah.
Male ego can't handle that.
What's the boomerang? People can't do the boomerang.
Mm-hmm.
When the roles are reversed, they can't understand that, yo, we have to have equity in this
Mm-hmm.
relationship. But
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about what Scotty said about, well, we know that they're not going to, well, we don't know, but we assume that they're not going to go for, yo, I'm just want to smash. So
Mm-hmm.
now we lie. So basically, see, to me, that's little boy shit. That's not grown man shit. A grown
Yeah.
man gonna go in, because to me, dating is like a job, right? So the first
Mm-hmm.
thing is you get your resume. You read somebody's resume when you want to hire somebody. All right, they got the qualities, so I'm going to give them a second interview. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay, we got a first interview. All right, get up. Let's get a second interview and maybe a third interview. Then by that time, I'm going to know whether I want to hire you or not. The same thing should be true in the dating scene. But you want to play these games.
But I
You know,
think the
games get
females playing them too.
no,
I
no.
think
I'm not just
they
putting on the dudes. I'm saying, yeah, you playing these games like instead of being open and honest. What's going on with that? I've learned later in life, before Angel
Oh,
locked me
after your
down.
whoredom.
Yeah. Wait. I've learned later on in life that, yo, most women and men just want to be, yo, hit me, because one of the worst things that make me feel a certain way is you insult my intelligence. Stop playing with me. Like, I
Mm.
can see this. Stop playing with me. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yo, we grown. And if that's not no time that you want, no harm, no foul.
Right.
But if we still in this little boy, little girl, oh, I'm gonna con him, I'm gonna trick him, I'm gonna that's when the problem surface, in my opinion.
And anytime you connect with other folks, whether it's a situationship, relationship, marriage, or whatever, you have intermingling of energy. So, and to me, Unique was saying, well, it's my time invested, but for me, it goes a little bit beyond time. It's my energy. What energy exchange am I trying to adapt to in this whole dating thing when it ain't really going nowhere? So how do you all process that in the dating scene, and what are some suggestions that you all can put out there in the audience about dating?
Well, when you say energy, that's a good point. That's a very, very good perspective because the way I look at the energy is like like okay, if you're talking to someone, like I was talking to someone and we FaceTime very often to the point where it kind of became part of my routine. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? And then it was like when that stopped, their energy was gone. Like there was obviously a shift in like my day and things like that. So I don't know. It's just kind of hard because every experience with it is going to be different with each person that you date. You know what I mean? So it's unpredictable. It's unpredictable. You can't say don't get too attached. It just happens.
I mean, we're human. The emotions are going to be there. The attachment can come, like Scotty said. If you feeling energy and y'all kicking it and you seeing where it's going, ultimately somebody gonna start feeling, if not both. That's the true reality. That's just a humanistic part of it. I honestly think, from the rip, you got to know who you are. You got to know and trust your expectations. And Scotty said it. You got to have real conversation. If somebody's not willing to have that real conversation, and they just really in that space of let me just get it and see what it's like or whatever, then you do have to identify, what's my value in this process? Because do you devalue yourself just so that you can have somebody to lay with? What if the
Yes, they
sex
do.
is good?
They just don't want to be alone.
Got you.
Who
Got
doesn't
you.
want to be alone? But
A
you
lot,
that's kind of
nobody.
general. Oh, okay, nobody. And that's the problem is that people don't want to be alone. They're not comfortable with they don't love themselves. That's why I'm always
Right.
promoting self-love. Because if you don't love yourself, then you're going to be so codependent that my grandmother taught me as a little boy. Because she taught me how to iron, she taught me how to sew, she taught me how to wash clothes, she taught me how to cook. And you know what she said? She said, son, grandson, she said, boy, that's how she called boy, I'm going to make it that you want a woman and not need a woman. That
That's a
you
good.
can take care of whatever you need. So that thing coming in. So I don't have to have that. There's some men who cannot function. There's some women who cannot function without some people. So that's when they get into those toxic relationships, abusive relationships, and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree. When you're in relationship with other people and you don't know yourself, you about to damage you and them.
Yeah.
There's just no way around it. You're gonna bring your mess. You're gonna think that I need this hero to make me feel like I'm special. I need this person to see me. Then you're gonna want them to make up for whatever gaps and experiences you've had in your life from all your previous relationships. Now you want them to come in and heal you. Now you got to work on that yourself before you even consider dating. What are y'all thoughts about that?
Can you kind of repeat the question again?
Mhm. What are your thoughts about the need to heal yourself before dating so you're not trying to make another person the hero in your life?
Oh wow, okay. That's very important. I definitely noticed like a shift in my dating ever since like I started trying to heal myself and being more self-aware and getting therapy. And what it's done for me, I'm not saying healing yourself means you're going to find the right one right away, but what it's done for me is make me more cognitive of like when bullshit comes my way. Like I'm not so forgiving.
Yeah.
You're not getting 3 red flags. Like, no, I'm not doing that. Like, you got one time at this point. You got one time. And that's kind of it with me because it's like when you don't love and respect yourself, you let a lot of stuff slide. A lot of stuff slide, and then you find yourself in this space where you're like, damn, how did I get here? And why is this happening? It's because you never set boundaries, you never had any limitations, and it's just like it's the old saying, like people only do what you allow. Why would you allow
Yeah.
somebody to cheat on you and disrespect you and lay up in your house and not pay bills? You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. It's crazy what people do so they won't be alone. So I don't know. I just feel like me being healed has allowed me to release myself in situations a lot quicker than it did before in the past. Yep.
Gotcha.
Marcia, can I speak on that real quick?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
she made a great point about past wounds. So
yeah.
I want to open up this to the question because I see a lot of times because what one brother or what one sister did, now your tolerance, your patience, your ejection button is real quick because that happened. Have we gotten to a situation where we become jaded and because we were hurt by that person, you know what I'm saying? Because
Mm-hmm.
what's the thing that I didn't hurt you, but you're letting the person hurt you. I'm being bled on because somebody else wounded you, but you bleeding on me. Oh, all brothers are like that. No, we not. Well, so does the patience, does the tolerance level decrease? And are we really giving relationships a shot, especially after we've been in a relationship that's hurt us, that's traumatized us?
Well, that's an unhealed person. That's a person that's still finding themselves after the relationship. And I think a lot
Right.
of people do carry that baggage with them and that short fuse to cut people off. But again, that's that hurt mentality. That's one that hasn't healed, that hasn't been able to express themselves or really heal themselves through the trauma they've been through. And so every time they see it in any sense, it's a trigger for them. And so it's a good thing to know your triggers, but at the same time, every person isn't responsible for your trigger. And the same, it's like categorizing all men as the same thing because you've been hurt by one. That's why I even hate, even telling somebody your zodiac sign because oh my God,
I
Lord,
know.
you're an Aries. And Aries you're just not shit because the Aries hurt my life. And it was great sex, but he has an asshole the whole time. I'm like,
But
damn.
that ain't me.
Exactly. Can I get an opportunity to fuck up for myself? But can I get my own Can I get my own clear plate and figure out? But I think the whole thing about it is that we skip the steps of becoming a friend with the person. You don't have
Yep.
a companion at all. You have no friendship established, and so therefore it's all physical attraction. It's all, like I said, it's all lust for a sense, or it's considered love bombing, where I'm overly loving you at the beginning because that's what you want. Because you
Right.
want the fairy tale to start right now. You want the horse and carriage. You want the romantic. You want the Cinderella right now. So you get love bombed in the first month or two as a honeymoon stage. You meet that representative, but you don't even know this person as a friend. You don't even really. You be like, damn, I don't even like how you think. Why did you think that was okay? I actually find myself more unattracted with how women think. Like, damn, you 30 years old, you 40 years old, you think that you living a Real Housewife of Atlanta type life. You want to be a whole reality star. That's what you think is reality. Like, the way you think is unattractive. The way you carry yourself, the way you express yourself, the lack of communication to always be able to be the victim in every situation and not be able to hold yourself accountable for any of your
Listen.
own actions is a thing that a lot of women are just like, again, I mean, but you're coming at, and then Lord, don't allow you to be able to see that and then call it out. Now you're the bad person.
And
Okay.
the thing that's so funny is that um when I talk to clients, especially these young married couples, and I ask them the question, Who taught you how to be in a relationship? And I cringe every time I hear, well, I saw, I ain't really had nobody. So I've been watching, the Real Housewives of Atlanta. She's like, yo, stop doing that.
But
That's
when they don't have any role models, Marcia, that's what they go into. So, but getting back to Scotty's point about building relationships, but if we going in with this smash mentality, like, are we really going to ever take the time to get to know the person before we are sexually involved? I never did. It always led because of the physical. But now you have to understand, if you want, I was talking to my goddaughter before she got married, and I was like, yo, I don't care that you out here doing your thing. But if you out here doing your thing, you're not going to attract the type of man that you want to be a wife to, right? If you out here dotting and bopping, as little Scotty said, you dotting, bopping and doing your thing, that's fine. Because if you want to be out here and enjoy, you go, because male and females go through their whole phases and all of that. If that's what you are, then if you move like that, that's what you're going to attract.
Period.
When you,
but you can't.
but
women are free sexually as well. You can't tell nobody nothing.
I didn't say just women. I said
women are a lot more free sexually than men. That's the reality. The issue is that society has said women that are free sexually, y'all hoes, right? And so that's demeaning what they are. But you say, okay, well, don't be a hoe, but come over here and give me some. What do y'all want?
I got a controversial question. Let me ask this question. So we talk about transparency. We talk about transparency and realness. You got your ass done, you got your titties done, you got fake eyelashes, hair, and things like that. Is that your authentic self? Authentically peculiar, Marcia? Is that so?
All of my shit is real.
I'm just
all these titties and all this ass is all.
But what I'm saying is that's another layer. Is that another layer of deception?
Well, I think when it comes to dating, that's more physical. But you're about to say something unique. Go ahead. I don't want to cut you out.
This is the thing. I'm going to try to convey this without saying too much about myself. I feel like I've been on different. Marcia know what I'm trying to say. So y'all gonna have to read between the lines. I've been on different ends of the spectrum, right? I'm just gonna say I've worked in nightlife and I've dated. I no longer work in nightlife, and I have a 9 to 5. I just built a home. I have 2 children. I take care of myself. I'm educated, and I feel like it was the same thing in dating. You know what I mean? Even I have girlfriends who have several degrees. They're AKAs. They make 6 figures. They take care of themselves. They don't even have no kids. They get treated the same way as the chick in the club. You know what I mean? Whether it's the model girl or the dancer.
But it's that energy. It's the energy.
Because they dating the same type of men.
Because the thing about it is, men ain't interested in any of that shit. They don't care how much money you make.
Okay. Stick with
they don't care about your degrees. They don't care about nothing. They want to know you gonna feed me, fuck me, and friend me. Let's keep it a buck. If we gonna go to a buck, let's keep it a buck.
I'm gonna go a little deeper though, right?
All right.
I have homies. I have homeboys who married these women who are not in the nightlife or don't have the look, the big eyelashes, the lace fronts, right? Marry these women, but step out on them. Or lust in other areas.
But that's selfishness, and that's their own weakness, though.
But it's just make sense, though. Make it make sense. Go after what you want. Don't sit there and marry this woman and hold her up and waste her time and cheat. You know what I mean? And then complain, oh, she's not effing, she's not cooking, she's not cleaning. When she's working a 9 to 5 job, she's doing what she's supposed to do. She's not out here cheating. She's taking care of your kids. She's helping you hold the household down. But yeah, y'all still want to run behind the dancers. You know what I mean? The Bernice Burgos, the Cardi B's, and all that stuff. Just go after what you want. Y'all be up in these marriages bored as hell. Y'all be up in these marriages bored as hell, but y'all be cheating with these strippers. So go get yourself a stripper if that's what you want.
But the thing about it is when it's all said and done, each individual person, in my opinion, when you enter into dating, you have to have your own identity. You can't take on the identity of the world. You can't even bring all your past hurts in there. If you still get triggered by situations or conversations when you're trying to date, you need to go clean it up first, because you're dealing with the residue. It's nobody else's responsibility to come in and heal you. But if you are out there trying to date and you're afraid to say what you want for dating. Now, if you look out there for a hookup, say you want a hookup. But if you're afraid to say what you want with dating, then you're always going to get the dirt that's
I got
coming
a
through.
question.
Go ahead.
I got a question. So when you talk about dating, transparency, honesty, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you are dating and you're still single, but you're dating, why
Mm-hmm.
is it that no one can seem to handle the honesty of you possibly dating someone else?
Well, that's because it's not defined. If
Who
you
can't
don't
have?
define,
What
you
do you
got to
mean by that?
define what it is. All right, we're dating exclusively. We're dating, so everything again, communication, expectation, and boundaries. All right, we're dating. What does this look like? But nobody wants to have those hard conversations. Nobody wants
Mm-hmm.
to face that rejection. But
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna come out in the wash. So you
And
confront and fake it all of that time, but it's going to come out in the wash. So my at 59 years old and not in the dating scene, but as I advise my son and young people, is like, yo, if they're gonna fuck with you, they're gonna fuck with you, period. Whatever you are. So you might as well shoot them straight, because that's gonna lead to less busting the windows in your car. You know what I'm saying? And going Jasmine Sullivan on you. So I think that always lead first with honesty. This is who I am. Accept me or don't.
right. And the
But you have to
thing,
be
the
able to.
thing.
That might lead to you being
Go
by
ahead,
yourself.
Scotty.
You have to accept that. No.
Yeah.
And it could lead with you being by yourself, but that's leaving you by yourself with some level of mental peace instead of
Right.
jumping through the hoops and going through the games and stuff like that. Because the real reality is dating can be difficult. I wish that we would actually rename the socialization to just what it is, socialization. Dating, and again, my definition of dating is real simple. We're going somewhere. We're exclusively going somewhere. But if I'm seeing you and you and you, all of us are just in a social triangle. We doing whatever that is. Let's call it what it is. If you're not ready to settle, stop using the term dating.
I
If you're not
disagree with you,
ready to
dear. I think you can
go ahead.
casually date. I think you can
Okay.
casually date. I think, but that goes with the transparency. I don't think that you have to every date has to lead to marriage. I think because
That's what they think. That's what they think. They think
But
that's what
that's
they
why I
think.
call it socialization. That's why I call it socialization. Y'all just socializing and kicking it versus dating.
Right. But then where do those lines get blurred? Case in point, right? I had a
Uh-huh.
situation, not to give too much of my disclosure,
All right.
but I had a situation where I ended up uh, smashing the coworkers. It was supposed to be nobody knows, nobody, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then it turns around and I had put something up and it was like, well, would you consider me being a plus one for you to go somewhere? No, we already have defined the boundaries of what we're doing. This is a fucking secret. This is not even supposed to be happening right now. No one knows it. So what are we doing going plus one places? Like, okay, we're cool. But again, now it's now you acting funny with me. How? We knew this from the very beginning. And you don't continue to communicate your level of transparency or affection throughout the entire process. And so I think the lines get blurred so easily. So many women may
yeah,
start off saying, "Oh yeah, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that." But I feel like I'm gonna be honest. I feel like all women want is a dick to call their own. They just
yeah.
want a dick that's theirs. They're very possessive of a penis, and they don't want
But
nobody else to
y'all,
tempt their
y'all
pride
the
and possession.
same possessive
I mean,
of
we
you know.
lie. We lie. We lie. We tell you it's ours in the moment. We tell you it's ours right then. But again, it just depends on
Who
the
raised
trans.
that boy? Who raised that
You
boy?
The Chronicles of a Woman Addict. That's what raised me. The Chronicles of a Woman Addict. The nigga that wrote that.
Say that again. Throw his book on out there. Yeah, that.
Ah, damn.
The nigga that wrote Spring of My Life.
But on the real, I mean, Scotty, you got a very valid point. You know, that I'm sorry, you can't have sex, especially good sex, and don't want to try to connect.
Exactly. Why lie to yourself?
It's just not gonna happen.
No, and I think you can, because there's a difference.
Oh, you think so?
No, there's 3 levels. There's fucking, there's sex, and there's making love. You can fuck without no ties and things like that. Now, when you get to making love and having sex, those are different, but you can smash. So I think there are different levels, because
it may start that way.
I'm gonna disagree with you on that one.
It may start that way, but bruh, if you putting that thing down,
if you put on some R&B and slow stroke, that's what making love now.
Definitely not.
No.
All right, Unique. Wait, Unique. Wait, hold up. Go ahead,
I put the love and sex mix on, and now we're in a relationship.
Everybody got a playlist. What you mean?
What you mean? All right, what you mean?
What kind of music we talking about?
Fuck you mean, son? Fuck you mean?
That's why I said there's not. I said I was disagreeing with him with his 3 different levels, because again, the same act, the same Pound Town is gonna be fucking loving. It's similarities.
No, you got
see, that's why if you've never made love to a woman, then if you ever made love to a woman, or you made love to a man, depending on your purpose or where you're at in life, you know when you are emotionally involved, it's a different level. It's a different level. So
right. Sometimes if you are smashing, right, and it's the best smash that you've ever encountered, emotion gonna come up and you're gonna want to possess it. Yeah. I don't care how you want to figure it out. It's just what it is. Because if you've been waiting on this right smash and it's here, you finna try to get some ownership.
And then the first time he said, "No, I'm good tonight." Ooh-wee.
Or she say, "No, I'm good."
Oh, you told me no. Yeah, that's crazy.
But you can't have that level of interaction and not have any emotions connected.
Right.
After some time, it's just not possible. Yes, making love is the height of the mountain, right? But that don't mean that while I'm smashing casually, whatever, I'm not starting to get something. Whether we never make it to make love, you put it down, so I want some more, and then I want to own it. That's just the reality of it.
Look, I swear to God, I can't even make this up. I just got a text message, right? It's about the situation that we were just talking about. It said, so you've done no wrong, and you've been honest this whole time. But you're awesome, amazing, dope man. I think naturally I'm catching feelings. Since we are not in alignment, we got to stop. I'm just keeping it real to avoid any mess. You see?
Bruh.
What, she just heard your ass? Your ass.
At least you saying I'm catching feelings. You to put it down. You broke my back, so now I got to cut it off.
Because I told you, you was like, can I be the one? I was like, whoa, that's not what we're doing. That's not what we're doing. I got to be honest with you. But I practice transparency. I'd rather you respect me than feel like I'm leading you on. I'm not going to try to manipulate you. I'm not going to lie. I talk my way out of a lot of pussy. Because I'm going to just say, like, especially with the huge platform I have, especially being one of the
you probably getting it thrown on the silver platter.
Man,
well,
I'm just out here trying to find. I'm just trying to find a good play. I'm trying, but I really want to. I'm going through that, trying to find companion stage more than anything. Like I said, the pussy is gonna be there. I know what people love, and that.
Scotty, are you looking for a unique woman in your life?
I don't know. I don't know.
I remember telling my son when he was a teenager. I said to him, I said, listen. I said, I know you think your mama lame and don't know much, but I'm going to say this to you. There's always going to be pussy on the platter. You just got to figure out if you're willing to share. My suggestion is don't put yourself in that space. Because if it's coming in on a platter, you ain't the only one eating from it.
That's right. That's right.
You got to be in a position to honor yourself. You have to be in a position to see the value within yourself. And I know that we tell that to our daughters, but I had to tell that to my son, because listen, them girls was coming for him. And the fact, like he looked like a little young Mario didn't help when he was a teenager. So they was coming. And I was like, yo, man, listen. And this is what I want men and women to understand. You have to connect with the value inside of you. If you want the right relationship, you're going to have to put the energy out there. That's what you want. Don't take Billy Bob and Sululu if that's not what you want. You literally need to put out there what it is that you want. Because if not,
that's why therapy is so important, because it's that self-discovery. Because a lot of people don't know what they want. They don't know who they are. So that's one of the things that I do initially at the inception of my clients, is do a values assessment, because your values are who you are. You know, we've spoke about this before. So
yeah.
And I'm not saying everybody has to go to therapy, but what I'm saying is everyone is in a relationship should know who they are, especially after a certain age. You know, you need to know who you are and what you want. Because there's a lot of times I'll ask people in couples counseling, well, what do you want from your mate?
They don't know. They don't know.
You see that?
I feel like I almost like I found what I found interesting about dating for me is just when I thought I knew what I wanted, I would date some more, and then I would be like, damn, I didn't even know this is something to put on my list of what I don't want. Like, you know, I dated before, and I encountered somebody with what is it called, ED? Is that what it's called? And
yeah,
I
never thought I would have to put that on the
You need to say that when she was dating, she encountered someone. She encountered
conversations.
I never thought I would have to put that on the list, because that's never something I came across. So I'm like, damn, now I got to put this on the list. So now my list is longer. You know what I mean? So as I date, there are things I learn where I'm like, I don't want that either. You know what I'm saying? So
that's what I'm saying, Unique. That's why, again, as you age, now you know what you want, because you're finding yourself. Then you can add, all right, I don't like that in a man. I don't like that in a situation, right? So when you are of age, that's why if I was president, I don't think people should get married until their 30s. I don't think they should get married, because you really don't know yourself unless you've done that.
Don't hit you in the head.
Well, I do agree with that. I feel like in my 20s, I felt so like rushed, because, you know, I feel like where I'm from, there's like this whole pipeline. Like, you know, you go to high school, you go to college, you get your good job, and then you get married. And I always felt so pressured, and I felt slighted about that, because, you know, I was a single parent, young. But looking back on it, I'm actually very glad that I did not get married in my 20s, because I didn't know myself in my 20s. And I mean, even from like relocating, I feel like I've totally like turned into a different person since then, and getting to know myself and stuff like that. But like even now, I still feel like I want to be married, but I'm still kind of like, I don't know if I'm ready just yet. You know what I mean? I feel like there's still a lot more to learn about myself, you know. So, but
and we're learning. We're always evolving. We're always trying to identify who we are and what we bring to the table. I do want to take a moment and talk to my young ladies. You can't just bring pussy to the table. You got to bring something else to the table. I just have to be real, because if that's the only thing that you're bringing to the table is aesthetics and your body, you at the wrong table if you're trying to be in a relationship.
Somebody pass the collection plate. Where the collection plate at?
What did 50 say? He had a reel out a couple of weeks ago. It said, if you only use your outside aesthetics to get you're gonna do some whole shit. He said you're gonna do some whole shit. And
right.
But I think that is the question that women want to know. Like, what, when you all say bring to the table, bring to the table, what do you mean? Because you just sat here and said, I don't care about your degrees, I don't care about this, I don't care about that.
Mhm.
I'm about to get off in a
Then
second.
it's not just about pussy either. So, like, what is the common ground? What is it?
There is.
So
I
for
mean,
me, and I
go ahead,
go ahead,
Marcia.
Scott.
Go ahead.
What I was going to say is, to me, and you know this, I challenge my clients. If you're going to make a list of what you want in a relationship, you need to be bringing that to the table. Period. If you are saying, if you show up and you need to have a 800 credit score, then you need to roll to the table, because you can't come to the table with a 400, right?
Equally yoked. Equally yoked.
Exactly.
You
And
can't
and,
just
and
show
the
up with
truth,
your look and just showing up. Y'all just want to show up. Y'all don't want to do nothing. They don't
and
want.
that's the thing. I think we have that. I think there's this false perception. I hear young people saying, well, I want to be a housewife, but y'all can't cook, y'all can't clean, y'all don't have a support, y'all don't have no way to be innovative. You what you got?
Well, you know,
You
they
want to
grew
be
up.
a
They
Emotional
grew up with
immaturity.
Disney.
Well, you
huh?
They
know,
grew up
one
with
thing,
Disney.
I think that
Emotional immaturity is what they got.
Right.
I think one of the other issues that no one is talking about is the fact that, like you said, you want, when you write that list down, it needs to be what you're bringing to the table as well. You have to match that.
Ooh,
I think part of the problem is that some people date from a place of desperity. Like,
Yeah.
they don't have their shit together. So it's like, let me hurry up and find a man who got X,
to
Y,
take
and Z.
care of me.
Because if he has X, Y, and Z, I'm good. You know what I mean? And it could never
Right.
be genuine if you're trying to date for money, but you don't have yourself together. You know what I mean? Because if it doesn't
Exactly.
work out, then you asked out.
Then what?
You homeless again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And the real truth is, and of course, I'm not a man, but I believe that men want a woman that they know if something goes down, she got them. They want a woman that will make a soft space for them to land. And they want a woman that can grab hold to what his vision is and help push him there. But I think that women also need to feel protected and nurtured in a relationship, and they don't want to be your mama. They don't want to pick up the pieces like your mama, and they got to tell you what to do. You have to find that balance in that situation. And when one of the two parts of that is missing, you're pretty much out.
That's why
Somebody
you
can
have to heal yourself. That's why
burn
you
it.
have to heal yourself from those traumas. You have to heal yourself so that you're a whole person. Because one of the things that I think is, and I know it's about our time, and I do have to jump off, but one of the things I think is the worst representation of a relationship is two broken hearts and you put them together to form one. No, that's
Right,
not it.
right.
You need two whole hearts that are superimposed against each other, because I need 100% of you, you need 100% of me, and that's going to be quiet. But when you come in with half a broken and I'm half broken, then shit, we both broken and we both
Exactly.
trying, and then we become trauma bound instead of
Mhm.
love bound. And there's so many trauma bound relationships. That's a different story for a different time.
Well, what I would like for each one of you all to do is offer 1 to 2 suggestions on how to balance dating right now.
Well, being I got to jump off, I'll go first. How I feel that you need to balance, my thing is honesty and transparency. Honesty and transparency. And if
That's
you're
what's
not ready to be honest and transparent, then you don't need to be in a relationship.
point. Point.
I would say definitely honesty and transparency. I would say self love, being self aware. I think I recommend therapy to everyone. Get to know yourself first so you understand what your boundaries are and what you're going for and what you're not going for. Um, I think, and lastly, just if things don't work out while you're dating, you don't have to be bitter. Just take that time and learn from it. Enjoy dating. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But definitely go into it healed. Make sure you got your shit together.
Point.
Um,
Scotty?
I would echo those words of both of them, but I will also say I'm having realistic expectations.
Yeah.
I think this fairy tale we're all chasing, um, someone just coming in and having a honeymoon for the next 50 years, it takes time, it takes work. It's like we don't have the ability to even have an uncomfortable conversation or disagreement without the person really ready to shut down and leave everything behind. And so it's like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm not saying just put up with a bunch of bullshit, because I do feel like, you do see a lot of one-sided relationships. You do see a lot of men being taken care of by women. You do see a lot of women being taken care of by men. So, find your equally yoked person that helps you
Yeah.
build your empire, that helps you to grow as a person. We all are evolving, we grow daily. Find someone with that mindset of growth, that doesn't think they know everything, that they're willing to listen and not be a know-it-all in every facet of their own life.
Man, listen, y'all, we're gonna have to try to reconnect and do this again, because I think that it's a conversation that needs to keep going. Too many times people are trying to figure and discover relationships out, but they miss the biggest relationship for them, which is with themselves. So I just want to say thank you all so much for taking time out of your day. Unique, travel back safely. Y'all have a great one. And to those that are on Instagram, I went live for a minute, but go to the YouTube page, Authentically Peculiar Marcia B, and then you'll catch the full episode. We'll see y'all on the next one. Y'all be easy.
Take care, sis.
Thank
Bye.
y'all.
You're
Thank
welcome.
y'all.
Thank you.